Okay, now I've got my center lines in, got all my erasing and cleanup and stuff done. And so there's how this one works out, and it's a full depth, and so it looks, it doesn't look natural, if you will, because it's full depth. Of course, oblique views are not natural anyway, because you physically can't see something in real life in an oblique view. But it does help to convey a design idea, often better than an isometric view, depending upon the shape of the object. All right, so the cabinet view will be the same, except for we will divide all of our depth in half. And so all of our depth items, we're going to draw half of what they really are. So I'll start the same way. And maybe I should have said this with the first one. If we were doing a non-symmetrical drawing, we would do the same as we did with an isometric. We'd come down half the height, horizontal half the length, and then down half the depth, and that would give us a lower corner of our view. But this one being symmetrical up and down, left to right, we can just go from the center of our space half of the depth. And so in this case, we're going to take the 33 and divide it in half and then in half again. So half of 33 was 16 and a half, so half of that is going to be 8, basically. So we'll come down 8, and that will become the center of my large hole. Now I'm not going to talk a lot as I go through this. I'll just draw and demonstrate. It's just the thing to remember is that all of our depth is going to be half of what it really is. Okay, and so now the depth for my first plane, whereas over here we used 19, we used 19, so we're going to go half of that. So we'll go 9.5 on the first one, and then the second one, half of 33, 15, 16, 17. So I'll go ahead and make me a mark at 17. And I'm going to transfer those center lines all the way across so that I've already got them. Okay, so large hole was 64. The small hole was 42. I'm going to go ahead and place it here. Okay. And let's see. Now I need some vertical center lines for my second plane. And I'll draw my arcs for the second plane. And these were Radius 17, so diameter 34. And I need second plane for the 64. And I'm going to go ahead and lightly draw in my tangent lines just so we can be able to see where they are. Oh, I didn't draw the one on the left here. Oh, yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I did. Okay, so that's got my front plane. Now let's go back and draw in the rear plane, center lines, and circles for the rear plane. And don't need the bottom there. Alright, tangents for the rear plane. Okay. And then small holes, they were diameter 14. Okay, and oh, I need the inside hole on the rear plane. Okay, so find my center marks for the rear plane. Okay, now I've got everything roughed in, so It's a matter of erasing and then darkening. So I'm going to pause my video, get all my erasing in, and then I'll come back and run the video while we're darkening. Okay, so I got all my erasing done, so now I'm ready to darken, and you're just gonna have to be careful with where you're placing your templates to look for those center lines that you used to have. Okay, I gotta touch up it. It's kind of difficult to get some of these lined back in with your tangents to the circles. So do the best you can with it, and then we'll add center marks. All right, and then we'll do some lettering in down here. Fill it your title block. You'll fill in, and let's add some titles to each view of like cabinet, oblique, and cavalier oblique. And I'll pause the video while I do that. Okay, so yeah, letter in cavalier oblique and cabinet oblique here. Fill in the title block information. Make sure everything's nice and cleaned up. I know some of the things are going to be difficult to get matched up just exactly right, but do the best you can with your drawing and your erasing so that it's nice and clean.